Don't you know? Don't you know?
Welcome to Big Talk with Big Chan. Today I got a special guest. You may know him as Anitmissilemissile, Big Missile, whatever you want to call him. Give it up for Miss.
What's good, y'all? It's Anitmissilemissile, and I'm here with Big Chan on Big Talk. Here.
Miss, what's going on?
Big Chan, you know what the fuck going on?
How you feeling? How you been lately?
I fuck with that bracelet, for real.
Oh, shout out to Steady Fits Collection because the last time he let me use it, I just brought it home with me so I can use it again this time. So how you feeling about the new year?
Fucking feeling pretty good, you know? Pretty much the same shit as the last 12 months. Like, everybody is saying what they're gonna do now, what they're gonna do this and that.
Yeah.
And you know damn well you're doing the same shit. Like I said, it's good to like have like a good mindset towards like positivity and building, but other than that, like, you know, we're just rocking out.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody watching right now. We're at Big Talk with Anitmissilemissile. Happy New Year. Even though it's like March now, but still, this is the third quarter. I mean, not the third. I'm stupid. This is this is the first quarter. So I wish everybody luck and success. Hit the gym, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But we're here to talk about Miss and about his ventures as an artist and some dope other shit. All right. So, New Bedford, Mass. That's where you're from, right? Born and raised.
Born and raised.
How do you feel about your city?
I really I'm proud to be from here because there's a lot of history, but as an artist, I feel like we're really like isolated from the rest of the country and like where a lot of things are popping out.
Yeah.
So for us being from New Bedford, we gotta make do with what we can. We gotta do what we can, and we gotta go out and travel. We gotta go out and
We gotta do a lot more.
yes, go see other people. Like it's not like we're in a hot spot like DC, Atlanta, like LA. Like we're isolated. Like nobody can name one town from Massachusetts beside Boston.
Right. And the craziest thing too, I was talking to somebody like earlier from like out west, and they thought Boston was in New York.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, so we gotta do a lot more to separate the two because it's like East Coast is the best coast. I feel like, regardless of how cold it'd be cold. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like East Coast has so like it's the side of dreams. I feel like
It is for sure.
I feel like it is like, and even though there's like California and LA out there and all that shit or whatever, but like they're making it happen. But we have the talent, like you know what I mean? Like it's just that we so happen to be in this place. We got to get out of it.
This is not only where the country started. This is where hip hop started.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? This is where it all began. Like we have a lot of history over here. So
Hell yeah, definitely. Yo, let's take a shot to that. Honestly, I'm down for it. We got some tequila. Yes, sir.
If y'all know Miss will love that tequila. Man.
Yes, sir.
No more Henny, fuck that. Cheers.
Cheers. Woo. All right. So I want to talk about how you first got into music, the start of your music career. What made you like want to even dabble into music? For me, I was like younger, writing poems and stuff, and then I wanted to do music later on. What was it for you?
Yeah, like pretty much the same for me. Like I've always been into music. Like I've been hip to rap music from my parents, from my friends, like from a very young age. So I always thought it'd be cool to like be a rapper or something, but I never really actually pursued it. What did it for me was I started writing, like same thing. I started writing poetry. I got into music like at a very young age, and like into playing music, into writing. But like once I got older, I thought about like structuring, organizing things, like putting my thoughts into writing. So I started writing poems, and I was putting out a lot of like poetry on my Tumblr, like on Facebook.
Tumblr,
like,
oh my God, I forgot about Tumblr.
It was the only outlet I had like to put out all that stuff. So I was like, hey, go go read my poetry collection. And a friend from high school like reached out to me and was like, I see how you write and I see how you like do things, so why don't you get into rapping? Like why wouldn't you, because you do rap, like you do music and stuff, so why not just get into it? And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot, you know. And ever since then, I always had this rap name like in my head from high school, so it wasn't that I was like, all right, I got my rap name, I'm gonna just start going out.
Right, and that's perfect, because what I wanted to ask you is how did Anitmissilemissile come about? Like what was, like, you said high school, right? You came up with the name?
It was in high school.
So obviously it's kind of a controversial name a little bit.
Yeah, especially with all the war and shit going on.
Right. So I'm curious about how it came about.
All right. Well, I'm glad you asked me that, and I love telling this story because everyone asks me like, "Oh, how'd you come up with your rap name? How'd you come up with your rap name?" This was before I even started like recording my first song. This was like years before I like put out and recorded my first song. I was in stats class in high school, just mad bored.
Oh my God, we had that class together.
Yes, and yes, we had the class
Yo,
together.
Miss Gomes. Shout out Miss Gomes.
So, I was just like, I always have like random thoughts. Like that's one thing about me is like my mind races all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we were in stats, finished up all my work, yada yada. Someone said something that was like an oxymoron, like something stupid, and I was like, oh yeah, that's an oxymoron, like because it contradicts itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my phone at the time. I was like, oh, let me go on Google and like Google a list of oxymorons. I don't know why I thought that was funny, but
Yo.
and then I saw, obviously it's in alphabetical order when I pulled up the page. So one of the first things I saw was anti-missile.
No
And
way.
I was like, that's cool because you have a missile, you have an anti-missile. You can't have an anti-missile. Like that's just like,
Right.
like how are you gonna have a missile that contradicts? You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny, and like that word just like stuck to me for some reason. I don't know what it was, but like that word was just like in my head for a long time. Like I made it my Instagram name when I made an Instagram like the next year. Like I always just had it like around. Like I always just thought of it. So I was like, well, I can't think of a better rap name. So
Yo, that's dope.
Yeah, let's just put it as my rap name. Like, and I think it's cool because it's like it's a long name,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it's out of the ordinary. Like you will never find another like anti-missile. Like
Right.
there's a million like little finessers. Like you know what I'm saying? There's a million freaking big boss man rappers. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no other anti-missile. So it was unique. That was the reason why I chose it.
Yo, that's funny, and it's funny that you said that too, because remember, what was it, like a few weeks ago? We was in your crib chilling, and I looked up Big Chan, and that bitch popped up, I don't know.
Yeah, there's another big chant. Exactly, yo.
And it's so crazy because I came up with that, because everybody, if you know my music career, I went through like 4 different monikers, like literally like 4 different monikers, like I swear.
Mm-hmm.
I started off as Dre Sean, because if you've known me for years, you know my birth name. So it was a spin on my birth name. So Dre Sean was my first rap name ever. My second name was just Chan with the Plan.
Chan with
Because
the plan.
I started doing events, I started planning things, and I always had a plan for something.
That's when we like first started working together.
Yeah, exactly. So I was Chan with the Plan. I was in the city doing performances as Chan with the Plan, with Third Eye, all this stuff. And then I just dropped the With the Plan. And I was just Chan, because I'm like, yo, I'm just Chan. Like, I'm not nobody, like, special. Like, I, like, dumbed myself down a little bit. It's like, I'm just Chan. Like,
I'm
whatever.
just Chan.
So, and then I actually got a lot of people that know me since I was little to call me Chan, which is dope, and I respect a lot. So I was just Chan to everybody now. Then, now I'm like, you know what? Like, I've elevated, I've gone through shit, I've grown as a person, so, like, I'm Big Chan. You feel
Big
me?
Chan.
Like, I'm Big Chan. Like, and I was thinking about Lil Chan at first, but I'm like, there ain't nothing little about me. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I mean, the only thing little about me really is like my ears, nigga.
Yeah.
Or either my ear, like, I was like, my
You
ears.
kind of got a baby face, I guess, but
I guess, right? Like,
you're not even short, so it's like.
a lot of people don't think I'm as old as I am. Like, people think I'm 19, 20, 21. Like, I'm about to be 27. Like, this is releasing on my birthday in March. So I am 27 years old right now. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about Little Chan, but I was like,
Crazy.
nah, I was like, little. I was like, nothing's little, I'm big. Like,
You're
Big
about to be
Chan.
30.
Oh, yeah, yo, this nigga's old. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, so, that's dope. So, how do you feel like that reflects your music?
I try to have like a hard-hitting like punch to my music. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I have some chill songs. I have some like different genre songs. But for the most part, like when you think missile, and that's another thing you were saying with your name change. I was gonna change my name to Nick Missile. I was gonna change it to Just Missile. I was like, let me just keep it all Anti-Missile for now until
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying, like maybe
So
I'll
you
get
know.
lucky one day, I'll blow up, I'll get signed, like whatever. Then I'll just drop the anti, you know what I'm saying? I'll just be Missile, you know what I'm saying? But for now, it's already hard to find me now. So imagine if I just put Missile, like you cannot find it.
Right,
you
right,
cannot
right.
find it.
And I want to talk about, because we was vibing out one day, and you was telling me like that there's an Anitmissilemissile type beat on YouTube now.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's like, yo, that's literally, I want a Big Chan type beat on YouTube right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yo,
that's
shout
dope.
out those producers for real.
And I want to talk about your SoundCloud experience in general, because I've known you for a while and I've like seen the progression and seen all that. So like, I want to talk about the SoundCloud community real quick, because this man's literally a SoundCloudy. Like, no, like dead ass. Like,
I love SoundCloud.
he's a SoundCloudy. So it's like, he connects with so many different producers and artists on SoundCloud. Like, I never understood how that like what I want to ask you basically is like, how did you make all those connects on SoundCloud, bro? Like
so basically, I don't know how I don't even know. It's a miracle how I even stumbled across SoundCloud community, because when I first started making music, it was like, I refused to be on SoundCloud. Like, I'll put music there, but like I'm gonna stick to like, you know, my mainstream artists, my iTunes motherfuckers. But SoundCloud is a great platform because you don't need to like have a label. You don't need to have a distribution company.
Right.
You can literally just hop on there and just upload whatever.
literally just go on a beat and hop on and just put it on SoundCloud. Like,
Yeah, literally.
yeah.
Like, that comes with its setbacks. That comes with its cons. Like, you will see a lot of trash shit on there. You will see a lot of just people in their room just making music on their phone, just uploading whatever. But
Yeah.
there are the gems. There are the gems there. And I just stumbled across the more artists that I found, like through like connecting, is how I stumbled across SoundCloud. Through their profile. They go through their likes, their reposts, who they're featured with, who's producing their music, who's engineering their music, and then you go through like, it's like a rabbit hole almost.
Yeah.
Like, you're like,
You get
all right,
sucked
who's
in.
this person? Like, oh, this person's good, this song's good too, this song's good too. Like, and if you like the music and you like what you're listening to, you're gonna wanna dig for more. So that's what really like got me into it. I was digging and digging and digging, and eventually I found like just random people like you and me, like that are just making bangers, that are just
Yeah.
and I got into it because I would look for who produced one of my favorite songs. Like, if I like this song, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look into the producer. I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna find his Instagram. I'm gonna find his Twitter. Because everyone like puts their socials out there. Everyone puts their info if you want to work with them and stuff. And everyone, like, not everyone is like down to work with you. Not everyone is like very open-minded, but
There's bougie people on SoundCloud.
yeah, there's bougie people. Like, even if you
There
have
is.
money,
I'm like,
like
it's SoundCloud. How can you be bougie? Like, the fuck, like, just
people
work.
like Hollywood and shit. Like, I understand.
It's SoundCloud,
like,
bro. Like,
know your worth and shit, but like, bro, like, you never know who you're connected
Right.
with. You'll never know. Like, so I would just search artist, search producer, search this person, and then I would try to reach out to them, and like, to them, I'm just I'm a normal person. Like, I'm nobody. Like, but they might see it as an opportunity to network, to make a sale, to like make a banger, like, you know what I'm saying, to get other people on it and stuff. Like, you never know. So, and like, I fuck with the people that are open and easily accessible. Like, just like, you can just hit them up, you can just buy a beat off them, you could buy a feature from them, or like, you can just work with them, you can send them something, like, whatever it is. I like open-minded people that are just like, you know what, instead of just ignoring this DM and acting like it's just another DM that I got, or like, oh, look at me, I'm famous, like, reach out to that person, like, work with them, like, talk to them. Like, people have done that to me, people have done that to you, people have done that to my favorite artists, and vice versa. So the more you work with people, the more you like reach out to people, it's a connection thing.
Yeah.
So the same way I find my favorite artists, imagine my favorite artists find me, because I'm working with their producers, I'm working with their featured artists, I'm working with their engineers. It kind of makes it seem like a sense of like we're all here doing the same thing, we're all chilling, like, and a lot of people like reach back out to me and was like, yo, I fuck with you, like, you know what I'm saying. And then another thing is traveling and going to their shows. And it kind of sucks now because COVID, and there was so many more SoundCloud shows before like the shutdown, and now I feel like there's really not much. Like, I've been to a few here and there, but ever since COVID, it really just fucked everything up. But
fuck COVID, 100%.
Like, literally, like, going to these shows and just talking to them, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a little $5 show. Like, I went to a free show. Like,
that's fire.
$30 ticket. Like, it's not hard to go, like, get up in there and like go talk to them. And be like, hey, like, I fuck with you. Like, let me introduce myself. Like, you just gotta have like that, like, you just gotta have that mindset that you want to network and you want to like reach out to them and you want to like talk to them. And once you dig enough and you find the people that you like and like you link up with them and you meet them, like even like my favorite SoundCloud rappers like Lost Boy and Lil Zelly and all that shit.
Boof.
Like Boof, shout out Boof. I would be at their B&Bs. I would be at they would be at my B&B. I'd be at their shows. Like we would just link up. Like we would just be there. Like Zelly, I went to his crib. Like we didn't even have a B&B. Like I went to his crib. So it was like, you like learn more about people when you're like inside and outside of that realm of music performance, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, it's more than just like I know you from music. Now it's like you're my friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're someone that I'm connected with, and you're someone that like
does the same shit that I do.
Exactly.
Right.
Like I said, a sense of family. That's where it all comes from.
And familiar, like was it familiar? I can't even say the word.
I was gonna say that.
Familiarity,
I think. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, but literally, I was like, I don't know how to pronounce it right now.
I could say if I didn't take a few shots.
I was gonna say we're a few shots deep and we're about to roll up. So,
I want to talk about Missile Mondays because that was something big on SoundCloud that's been that happened for a while. So, tell me about your first drop. First of all, tell me about your first drop on SoundCloud. And I'm pretty sure that's 21 the Free album, no? Or
that was my first. I deleted a lot of my music, so that was my first like official, like it was kind of like me, like if I was like on a label, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my debut. You know what I'm saying? I have some mixtapes before that, but it was all trash, so I deleted all of it. Some of it is still up.
I did the same thing. My first album is not on SoundCloud.
You saying like, motherfuckers still have your CD somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, literally. Honestly, yes. This is a mixtape of all remixes. Like I'm the plug. You got January 28th by J. Cole. Did a remix of. That was my first song ever because my birthday is March 28th.
It's crazy because when I first dropped my first tape too, I did the same thing, but like I had like a mix up of YouTube beats, free beats that I found online, and remixes. So I kind of just did like a whole mixture, and that was like my first 2 tapes, I want to say, other than the bullshit I was doing. And then my third tape, because like my first thing was called Change of Plans, so it was like Change of Plans 1, 2, Change of Plans 3 was strictly all remixes, and I stuck with it for the 4th one and for the 5th one after that. So when I first started out, it was like trash. It was all trash. Like I didn't know what I was doing, like, you know what I'm saying? So I do consider like 21 as like my first kind of like, I consider that me finding myself as an artist and as a person. Like
and I
dropped it on my
when
21st birthday. Like like that was like me. Like I have drops before that, but like I said, my first song for like ever was in July 2014. It was called Flames. And that is long gone. I can't even find that song. That is long gone from here. But if you dig hard enough, you will find some of my old stuff. I emailed a lot of my like old tapes out and stuff to people and stuff.
So I want to talk about Yeah. Because I heard that song and I was crying, bro. Like not not even like in a bad way, but it's just like because I know you're the artist now.
Yes.
Listening to that, I'm like,
so
bro,
different.
The production on that, I'm sorry. Like, was that okay? So I'm gonna say Nick because I just know him as Nick. So this is Anitmissilemissile, but this is Nick. So Nick self-produces all of his music, and honestly, I need to shout you out right now because I wouldn't have half the music out that I have now if I didn't go on his laptop, nigga.
For sure.
And record all that shit.
For sure.
Yo, anything that I probably recorded that you guys have heard has been on his shit. Like, and he's recorded it for me, and then he taught me how to record it myself and freestyle. And like, yo, before, it's crazy because before I started like writing or whatever, I was like, I need to go to a professional studio. I need to get this done, da-da-da-da.
Yes.
This man showed me that you don't need all that. Literally, it's his laptop, an interface, and a mic in his closet, bro.
Good
like,
story too.
Like, that's crazy. And it's like, and I recorded Get to You on that laptop. The stuff, my whole album that's coming out in July is mostly recorded on his laptop. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I need to, I appreciate you for that because, bro, like, I could have spent so much money on studio time.
Exactly.
Like, how many files do I have on your laptop, bro?
Bro, dozens at this point, if not hundreds. When I first started, I was the same way. I went to someone else to record. I just got in the booth and I just rapped, and then they handled the rest. And my producer that I was working with at the time, my engineer, he was going to school in Florida. So I had nobody. I had no outlets. All I had was my notepad and some beats that I found. So what I did was I wrote a whole tape. Like I had all the songs done and everything, and I was really trying to get out there. And there were a few opportunities for me to get up in the studio, but it just didn't fall through.
Yeah.
So my first thought was I need to find a studio. I need to find a professional spot to go to. Like I'm getting all mad. And my friend Cam, shout out Cam, I love him so much. He was in the car one day and he was like, Nick, I made a song on my laptop. And I was like, wait, you can make songs on your laptop? Like I was thinking, like, it just like clicked to me. Like obviously you can make songs on your laptop,
right.
but like I was just like the light bulb just popped up in my head. I was like, oh, like let me just get a mic.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? And I'll just do it myself. Like it's not that like serious.
And I even know people that do it on like their PS4, PS5 mics. You
That
feel
sounds
me?
crazy.
Yeah, like no, for real. Like,
No, I know someone that made a whole mixtape on a Guitar Hero mic. Shout out
That's
Guitar
crazy.
Hero. We can get into that later too if you want to talk about like the origins and shit.
Yeah.
Of like
So,
my music and shit.
what's your inspirations in general? You know what I mean? Because like, if you've listened to Missile's music, you're one of the first. I want to say, nah, I'm not even gonna dumb it down. You were the first person out here to stop rapping on plug beats like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd say so, especially around the New Bedford
Yeah,
area.
100%. Because I never heard of plug beats until really like I was listening to like Kodak.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? And then like after that I listened to like your shit and then I got into the SoundCloud shit that you put me onto.
Yes.
So I'm like, yo, these plug like and our whole tape is pretty much plug beats. So
exactly, yes.
if you don't know,
Chan Don't Miss.
Chan Don't Miss is on SoundCloud right now, you know what I'm saying? That honestly, that's one of the best things I've worked on like as like an artist cuz like
Straight vibes.
it was literally, that's what I'm saying, it was straight vibes. Like you don't even understand it because I'm a writer. Like my OCD allows me to be structured with everything. So I'm like, I'm an artist. I'm trying to write. I'm trying to like make music. It can't be structured all the time. I gotta just do some shit.
So when we hopped in the studio, I was like, yo, like just go in and just say what you like, just say what you think sounds good, say what you feel, like you know
And
what I
that
mean?
first freestyle was the worst thing ever. Yo.
I'm a double gusser, hallelujah.
Oh my god. Yo, I was just saying random things like I don't even know what I was saying. I said, I do what I desire.
It didn't help that the beat had like three tempo switches like in between. Like I should have like started
it's a
off
fast
something.
beat and then it like
then it
slow
slows
it down.
down. Yeah,
And then it'll
exactly.
pick back up, slow it down. And I had to slow down verses. And bro, like
Nah, that shit.
I said, bro, with the ice creams. Like what the fuck?
I don't even know. When I first got into plug music was finding like a lot of like different artists through just random like I said, rabbit holes, like digging.
Yeah.
Like I want to say like it started with like Playboy Cardi and Mexico Dro, but like the reason I found Playboy Cardi was because I was tuning into Awful Records. They're like a huge collective from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like Odd Future-esque. Like they have like the same kind of like, you have the bigger artists and you have the smaller ones underneath them, and you have the producers and like they reminded me of Odd Future a lot because I was into them in high school crazy.
Yeah, me too.
And then like once we graduated, like it was just like they kind of fell off and everyone went their separate ways. So it was like a new collective, and I'm trying to think. I Love McConan, you know I Love McConan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He worked with Awful Records a lot. So when he dropped that song with Drake, the Club Going Up, whatever. I dug into his music. And when I found his music, I found all these other weird artists. Like I found this dude Father. I found this dude Ethereal, Lord Narf. Like there was a bunch of them. So like I like dug into them, and then that's how I found Cardi because he was on Ethereal's tape. And then I tuned into Cardi's music, and then I found it was a whole rabbit hole. I found like Uno from them, and I found 1000 Band Fani. Like there was mad heads. So like I just kept listening, and that's when I really got into plug music because Cardi was just dropping like crazy.
Yeah,
like,
he was like going back to back
like,
too.
And like it was like so raw and so like gritty and just so like the mixing was off, like it was distorted, like it was just like it was a crazy time for me. So I just kind of like dug, and that's how I got into plug music because I found the main producer, the guy who's like the most famous for plug music, Mexico Dro. He still had YouTube beats up at the time. This is before like they got really, really big. I really do be hip before everybody. So I managed to download like 8 of his beats or like 10 of his beats on YouTube, and I dropped the tape on him. And I also worked with Mexico Joe exclusively too. On my first tape, this was like mid-late 2015. Like that's when I like actually got into plug music. And then that's when I discovered like everybody else. Like I said, Fonny, Diego Money. I'm trying to think.
We had a type beat on it was what was one of the first ones we did?
Plug beat.
I put on the gas and then run it up.
Yes, keep it up. Yes.
Yep. Got my back, got my lungs up, burn it up.
And the thing is, like with plug music, is like it's kind of hard to like explain like one thing, like how to explain like one sound. The best way I can describe it is like very like no kicks, very wavy, very like 808, like pulsating, very mechanical, defined hi-hats. Like you can say that for a lot of type beats, but like if you listen to a plug beat, if you listen to the original beat plugs, you will hear the signature sound that they have. You can tell that they have a defined style, a defined choice of sound, instruments, and everything.
Yeah, and you can tell like when you, and I love that little ad lib, the plug, like you know how they do that. Like that's how you like. Obviously, that's how you know it's a fucking plug like beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But like, that's always so like that's the only genre of music I know that you could do that. Like, you know what I mean?
You won't hear that tag if
like
it's
you're not gonna
not.
hear R&B in an R&B beat.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna hear pop. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's dope because it's like it's a real definitive. You know what I mean? So Missile Mondays, tell me like, how did you start that? Like, did you just drop a song on a Monday one day and then you was like, I'm gonna just do it every Monday? Like,
I got the idea from Russ because when Russ first started out,
shout out my guy.
He was dropping a song a week. A song a week. It was probably for more than a year. It was probably for like 2.5 years before he really got recognized.
Yeah.
That's why I wish I continued it, but I was like, all right, for a year straight, 52 weeks, dropping 52 songs. New Year's 2018 was on a Sunday, I think. So I just dropped it like on a Sunday.
And that's crazy because this year was on a Sunday.
Yeah, it was leap year, so it probably just came back around. I remember dropping it like it was either a day later or a day earlier than Monday. It wasn't on the Monday. I knew that I had a lot of material to work with because, like I said, I got into the plug scene around SoundCloud scene around 2015, 2016. So I was buying a lot of beats that I wasn't using, that I wasn't hopping on, because I always like had, when I first started, I had a hard time like figuring out what concepts I'm gonna use for tapes and what I'm gonna do and when I'm gonna drop everything, because you don't want to drop too much, but then you don't want to like be ghost.
Yeah.
You want to be active. So I was buying more beats and leasing more beats and having more beats in mind to hop on than I could put out.
Yeah.
So I thought Missile Monday was also like a good idea to do that because I had a lot of quality there too. So when I first started, I was like, okay, let me do like 10 songs, because like I'll do like a tape load 10-song tape, like that's easy. That was easy for me at the time because that was like right around the time I first started freestyling and just pumping out music consistently, and quality music at that, because when I first started it wasn't quality. So I would do like 6 to 7 songs, or even like 10 to 14 songs at a time, and then I would drop it like a schedule. Like I would have all the material ready, but I would just drop it. All right, Monday new song, Monday new song, Monday new song. I ran into a lot of roadblocks here and there, but for the most part, I did put out 52 songs in 2019, at least 52 songs, because I dropped like 3 tapes that year too. So I was just pumping them out, yada, yada, yada. And then that goes back to the fact where I was saying networking. I went to a show in DC for Zelly and Lil Turbo, and my man Lil Turbo was like, yo, hit up Mark. This dude, Mark Carson, he's an engineer. He's based in Atlanta. He was like, yeah, he can get you right. So I started working with him, and he was like, his price is crazy now. But back then it was like I said, I first got hip to him. So he was like, I could mix your songs, I could do everything. And I just sent him the info. I sent him my stems, the key, like the auto tune that I want to have it in, and he would just work his magic. And same thing. If I want to have a faster output, I would just send him music, do some music myself, and then instead of 7 songs, I'll send him 7. I'll do 7 myself, 14 songs.
Right.
So that engineer really helped me pump up my music a lot in 2019.
Yeah, that's smart. On that machine you went on, I want to talk about your genre like inspirations, because you do more than one genre of music.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so I want to talk about Encore. It's your most recent project that you dropped. So that's a rock album, correct?
Yes.
So let's talk
Alternative
about
rock, grunge, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. So let's talk about your music genres. Like, what's your inspiration behind that? Like, and then what's your inspiration just behind making the music that you want to make in general?
Yeah. So basically, I've been listening to like a lot of different like types of music for a long time. Started off with rap, R&B, early 2000s stuff. Then I like ventured into different things. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, Radiohead. Like a lot of that was because of like stuff like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, like the video games I was playing back then. And I didn't even like listen to music really after like the 2000s era, like the early 2000s era at least, because I didn't really have like an outlet to like listen to. So I basically have been listening to a lot of different genres since a young age, and I was very into like alternative music, grunge music, rock music for a majority of my youth into my adulthood. And 3 years ago, damn, that's crazy. Stage fright. I decided to just like look for beats that had more of a alternative sound, alternative feel. And I made a rock album. And it was the same kind of idea. I worked with Mark Carson on that. I think that was the last project we worked on. So yeah, it's been like 3 years since then. And last year, 2022, I decided to drop a sequel. And a lot of people were saying for a long time, like, oh, you gotta do another one, you gotta do another one. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it if I'm inspired. But I'm not just gonna pump it out just to pump it out. And finally, after so much time it dragged and passed, I put out the second album, Encore. It's out now. I want y'all to go listen to that right now, after you're done watching this, while you're watching this, whatever. But Encore, second rock album, is out now. It's at this point, it's a handful of months old. It'll be a year old in November, because I just dropped it last November.
That's what's up. So,
Sequel.
Other than that, your most recent drop is ND, aka Niggas Dying.
Yes, sir.
With Chan with the Plan, Big Chan, you know what I'm saying? So, let's just talk about that track real quick. So, it's funny because I'm pretty sure I just went over your house one day and I'm like, I'm just pissed off. Like, and the thing is like, if you listen to my music, I want you to know that most of my music is because I'm feeling some type of way at that moment, and I'm like, I need to record this.
I gotta record, I
gotta
record.
I'll hit him up like, nigga, I need to record right now. Like, I'm pissed. Like, and you just be dying and be like, all right, where you at? Like,
let's go.
So fucking, I would just go to his crib, and that was definitely one of the tracks where I was just like maybe just pissed off at life. And I'm like, do people know like what's going on right now? Like, do you know who I am? Like, I'm just like, I'm glad to be here because people are dying out there, but at the same time, don't fuck with me because it's like I'm here. Like, it's like I'm here regardless.
Exactly. That was the mindset you had at the time.
Right. So that's what we did, and then I was like, Nick, you just slide on this, bro. Like, and I was like, okay, let's see what you're gonna do. Cause honestly, you don't know what he's gonna do. Like, you literally don't. Like, it's so like his talent goes different ways. It's weird. Like, I've honestly never seen anything like it, to be real. Cause he could sing on some shit. He could rap hardcore, straight bars on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then he could go with some auto-tune. He could go with a rock vibe,
singing, whispering,
yeah,
whatever, talking.
Yeah, bro. So I'm like, you don't know. But then he came with the bars on this one, and sure enough, when it dropped, all of a sudden, I got comments. Yo, what the? Is that Nick? Is that Nick? That's Missile? Like, yo, I haven't heard that sound from him in a minute. That's all you seen in the comments. I'm like, That's what I wanted, because this album's called Different. Like, this EP is different. Like,
And that was my
and I
first
had all
thought.
features on that. Like, I had one song by myself, and the rest of it was features, because like I want to work with people. Like, and the features I had on it was like people I really connect with and fuck with on a personal and musical level. So like, shout out Dizzy, shout out Quan, shout out Nick, shout out Khalil.
Yes,
We just
sir.
had him in the last episode, you know. So yeah, it's up from here. I want to thank Anitmissilemissile for coming out here, showing his creativity, his talent, and talking
yeah.
about what's going on in his life, you know. Shout out to you always. We're
out
always
to
gonna
you.
connect, for real. Thank you for tuning in to Big Talk, Big Chan, and Anitmissilemissile.
Yes,
You already
sir.
know. So now he's gonna close us out with his song Ballad on Stage Fright. You can check it out on SoundCloud on all platforms, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All platforms. SoundCloud,
Here we go.
Audiomack, iTunes,
All that.
Apple,
All that.
Spotify, Amazon, Tidal, everything.
All right, let's get it. Anitmissilemissile, let's go.
So baby, can't you see? So baby, I know the times get hard, and you know you gotta fight. You hustle every day, you just tryna get it right. You wanna do it right, but you thinking you just might. Stressing every night, you just wanna live your life. Yeah, you right, I don't blame you. You just doing what you wanna do. Nobody can tame you. I'm the same way. I'll pick something up and put it off the same day. I be dancing with the devil, you can't save me. When I go out, I just wonder, will I stay great? Take a journey through my mind, it's so amazing. Yeah, repeat after me. Wanna learn how to hustle, just follow my lead. Yeah, yeah. Repeat after me. Wanna learn how to hustle, just follow my lead. I know the times get hard, and you know you gotta fight. You hustle every day, you just tryna get it right. You wanna do it right, but you thinking you just might. Stressing every night, you just wanna live your life. Yeah, you right, I don't blame you. You just doing what you wanna do. Nobody can tame you. I'm the same way. I'll pick something up and put it off the same day. I'll be dancing with the devil, you can't save me. When I go out, I just wonder, will I stay great? Take a journey through my mind, it's so amazing. I'm the same way. I'll pick something up and put it off the same day. I'll be dancing with the devil, you can't save me. When I go out, I just wonder, will I stay great?
Don't you know? Don't you know?